Hey y'all, and welcome back. My name is Tia. I am a 38-year-old boy mom, wife, nurse practitioner, and small business owner. And on this channel, we do all things budgeting. We do paycheck budgeting, we do sinking fund stuffings, we do savings challenges, and debt payoff. So in this video, we are going to work on my budget for the pay period from April 23rd to May 6th. So I've already went through my wallet, and I did like my wallet check-in to see how much I had left from my last pay period. So that video will be posted as a YouTube short, or it'll also be posted on my TikTok, so make sure you check that out. But like I said, right now we're going to get into the paycheck budget. So like I said, this is going to be for my pay period from April 23rd. It's supposed to say May. To May 6th. Okay, so for income, like I said, I got paid on April 23rd, and the income will be $3,800. So we'll just fill it out in the budget and the actual. So when I get to this section, even though it's bills and debt, within this section, I like to separate it. So first we're going to go through bills. So my first bill that I have coming out is for Hand and Stone. I have like a membership for them. It's like to get massages and facials. I have a membership for that. And that is $79.95 a month. Then next we have my child care, which is $400. Then we have Hulu, that's $13. Apple TV, $14.03. And that's it for bills. So I'm just going to add this up separately for now. 25 plus 400, 13 plus 1403. So for bills, we have $506.98. Next, we're going to go into debt. So first debt will be my Venture One card. So we'll say Venture One, and that is $355. Next is my Apple card. That will be $343. Next is my mortgage portion that I'll be paying is $997.41. And then last is this First Premier credit card. I haven't used this credit card in like 10 years, but it charges like a monthly fee, and I just need to honestly close this credit card account because I never use it, but I'm always paying $7 a month just for whatever maintenance fee it is, whatever. So let's add that together. $355 plus $343 plus $997.41 plus $7. So total for debt payments is $1,702.41. So we'll see, that's bills, that's that. So then I'm going to add up both of those totals. So to that, we will add the $506.98. So the total for bills and debt for this pay period is $2,209.39. So we'll take this and then subtract that from my income, which means we have $1,590.61 left to budget. So next thing we want to get into is my variable expenses. These variable expenses typically stay the same every pay period. So my first one is gas. Then we have parking, household, eating out, and then just miscellaneous. So for gas, I have been putting $80 aside. For parking, it'll be $24 because I have to work a weekend, and during the weekend I pay separately for parking, so that'll be $24. Household gets $600, and this is for like groceries and anything household. Like if I need laundry detergent, trash bags, like anything that has to do with the house, it comes out of household. For eating out, we do $50 because I try not to eat out when I'm at work. I try to cook every night and bring leftovers for lunch, so that's why I only budget out $50 every 2 weeks. And then for miscellaneous, I do $75. I use my miscellaneous as just like rollover if I want to buy anything from Amazon. That usually just comes out of miscellaneous. So let's add these up. So we have 80 plus 24, 600, 50, 75. So that total comes to $829 for my variable expenses. And we will subtract that from what we had left over down here. So that means we have $761. And I won't even count the 61 cents because I just usually round it down to like the nearest number. So that means we have $761 left for savings challenges and like cash stuffings and things. For savings, for the challenges, I will plan to use $450 for savings challenges because I have some challenges that I need to stuff every check, like basically like paying for my son's summer camp this summer. That's going to be something that's stuffed every check. But I have a couple other ones, but we'll get into that in the next video. So for savings challenges, we're going to do $450. And then for sinking funds, we are going to do $311. So let's add these up. 450 plus 311 equals 761. 61 cents left. And this is how I do my zero-based budget. So I had all of this stuff written out, but usually I would have like gone back and forth. I had already done this. We're going to eventually have to do May's calendar because I haven't gotten to that yet. So that'll be another video for us to fill out May's budgeting calendar. But yeah, so when I figure out these numbers, it's already kind of like pre-planned for the bills and debt because from doing this, like I know, you know, what's due. So that's where I got these numbers from. So now that we are done the budgets, let's figure out how much money we need to take out of the bank in order to cash stuff. So I don't cash stuff my bills. Bills and debt, that money stays in the bank. I don't take this out at all. So the only thing I really take out of the bank is, well, I do take out my child care because that needs to be cashed. So I take out the child care, but everything else for my bills, every pay period stays in the bank. I do take out the cash for my variable expenses and then for my challenges and sinking funds. So we'll figure that out now. All right, so this was the last week's. All right, so first category we'll do is gas. So for gas, taking out $80. And that's going to be 50, 60, 70, 80. Parking, that also stays in my bank account because I use my card for parking. So that stays in there. So next we'll skip parking, then we'll go to household. And I feel like I take the same denominations out every single paycheck. So it's like I already know it. I already know what to fill out for my variable expenses. So for household, we're going to take out 600. So I usually do 400s, 250s, 500, and then 520s make 600. For eating out, I do 220s, so that's 20, 40, then I do 45, and then 50. I had to think about that for a second. So this is actually wrong. I actually needed to fix this. Got it wrong. So for eating out, I usually do a 20, 2 10s is 40, 1 5 45, and then 5 ones is 50. And for miscellaneous, I usually do 3 20s is 60, and then we got 1 10 that's 70, and then 1 5 75. So that's for my variable expenses. Forgot to fill this out. So eating out is 50, and then miscellaneous is 75. So next we're going to go through and actually break down all of my savings challenges and sinking funds that I plan to stuff. So the first one that I plan to stuff is my back to school challenge. That's going to get 75. So we're going to do a 50, a 20, and a 5. Next one is going to be my nurse practitioner savings challenge. That's going to get 70. That's going to get a 50 and a 20. Then we're going to do my furniture challenge. That's going to get 75. And that'll be a 50, a 20, and a 5. Next, we're going to do my cruise control challenge. That's going to get 80. So that'll be a 50, a 20, and a 10. And then it'll be summer fun, which is going to get 150, which will get 150. So that right there is it. So let's separate this. These first 4 are my variable expenses. These next 5 are my savings challenges, and now we're going to do sinking funds. So for, I can't spell today. I don't know what's going on. So for fun stuff, that'll be $100, and that'll get 2 50s. Next, we're going to do my Lego challenge or my Lego sinking fund, because I'm obsessed with Legos. I love Legos. We're going to put 30 there, so that's just going to be a 20 and a 10. Then we're going to do my car fund, because I have to schedule my maintenance. That's going to be 150, so that's just going to get a 50 or 100 and then a 50. And then gifts, because my son will be turning 14 at the end of May, so got to get that one, bulked back up. So we're going to do 31, and that'll be a 20, a 10, and then a 1. So now that I have all this out, I will add everything up and make sure it just all tallies up to what I had planned to take out. Okay, when I tell y'all, I had to add this up like 3 times because I don't know what I was doing. I kept hitting the wrong number or something, but so the total is $1,566. Then we're going to go down and figure out how many bills I need to take out. So 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. All right, so now that this is done, I am going to fill out my cash teller slip that I take to the bank, so that way I know when I get to the bank how much money to take out. Here's my little cash teller slip notebook, and all of these things are available in my Etsy shop. Yeah, so for the hundreds, we're going to take out 6, so that's 600. For the 50s, I need 11, so that's going to be $550. For the 20s, it's going to be 16 times 20, $320 and 20s. For the 10s, it's going to be 7, so that'll be 70. For the 5s, it will be 4, so that's 20. And then for the ones, I need 6, and that's 6. So let's add this up. So this number that I get from adding this up should match that number. We got 600 plus 550 plus 320 plus 70 plus 20 plus 6, $1,566. So just to recap, in this video, we did my paycheck budgeting for my current or my next pay period, which runs from April 23rd to May 6th. So we did my budget. We planned, you know, how much I have to pay for bills, what I need for variable expenses, what I plan to cash stuff. We figured out what the breakdowns that we needed for the money. And then we did our teller slip to take to the bank so that way we can make sure we take out the correct amounts of money in the correct denominations that we planned out. So that's it for this video. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, because in the next video we'll be doing the cash count for the money that I took out, and then we'll get into stuffing my wallet for the pay period, and also do some sinking funds and savings challenge stuffings. So make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.